think they're definitely warmed up to it. And I think that inability for liberals to kind of defend on a fundamental moral level their principles, as opposed to just arguing the technocratic stuff, I think that was a huge mistake for them to lose that, for it to just be assumed.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. A great example of this that I have been thinking about ever since it happened was, you remember the Kilmar Abrego Garcia case, right?
I do indeed, yeah.
That got sent to El Salvador.
Hard to believe that was in the past year.
Just going to have to restart these right from the
Around
beginning.
that, you're familiar with the journalist Matthew Iglesias?
Yeah.
He was talking about how it was a bad idea for Democrats to make a big deal of the Kilmar Abrego Garcia case because because Democrats at the time were polling badly on immigration, and he thought that it would raise the salience of immigration as like a topic
fresh start
in the public discourse, and he thought that would be bad for Democrats. I thought this was a horrible I thought this was horrible, morally. I thought it was horrible because it's a bad thing that we were doing. We exiled this guy to a gulag, to a torture camp under a
start with Marine armor
dictator in El Salvador, and we should be able to say that that's wrong. So just first thing, we should be able to say that that's wrong from a principled moral level.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we have? Yeah.
Sometimes arguing the principle, showing why something is bad, giving a really strong example of why something is bad, can help turn public opinion.
450, 65.
The Kilmar Abrego Garcia case, whenever Van Hollen went down to El Salvador and basically got proof of life, it made the entire thing like a media cycle for like a week. And that was the first time that Trump went below 50% on immigration.
Yeah.
For his first term. And so sometimes pushing for the principle, I mean, you got to be smart about it, but pushing for the principle, using good examples to show why the principle that you're supporting is correct, even when it's not a majority opinion right now, that can be a strong thing to do. Another example would be
it would make them able to clear forests.
Again, he was talking about how birthright citizenship. Maybe we should look at birthright citizenship. And frankly, fuck that. Fuck that, and fuck you for saying that. Birthright citizenship is an important thing, and it's a liberal principle that we should be able to defend. If you're born in America, you should be an American.
Okay, but what are we talking about? No.
I don't want to compromise on that.
Not meant for tanks.
I don't think that we should have public intellectuals or politicians or people leading the Democratic Party and the broad liberal movement who are willing to compromise on principles that core.
Yeah. Oh my God. One of the complaints I have is that politics has gotten less academic and more. If you spend a lot of time like in the influencer world, you truly can analyze almost all of politics through kind of this influencer lens now because of the attention economy and social media.
6'5", 8'5", I think.
It's a horrible thing.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because I would get caught up with my audience arguing over certain
but
things.
I don't think
and one of the big arguments we would have is, so back, I don't know how much you're aware of my debating history or whatever, but I kind of go back and forth between this, like, okay, we need to be nicer to conservatives to bring them more into the fold and to be more amenable, versus I hate these motherfuckers, I just want to energize my side, everybody over here should die, these guys are terrible people.
Well, that's too extreme.
Last year or the year before, I was on my...
We have to come together as a people.
They are bad.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. When I was on my last conservative arc, I was doing the whole, I did kind of like a Daily Wire circuit where I talked to Michael Knowles and Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson and Candace Owens.
25 for 10 more.
One of these arguments that would pop in my community so much would be this, like,
but I can't use it.
The rhetoric.
Close range, arguably a god grenade launcher.
Where there would be like a thing that would come up, and sometimes people become a little bit too rhetorically or optically obsessed, where they're like, well, I don't know if it's okay to be so mean about this thing. I don't know if it's okay to say this. And I think there's some truth to that, right? Like if some guy comes out and says something like, I don't know if we should be teaching critical race theory at every college. I don't know if we have to come out and say, well, this person is an evil fucking piece of shit, right? Maybe that's too much.
Yeah,
but
I'd agree with that.
If I want to like lay into or go off on people that are unironically defending like the double tapping of Venezuelans that are just floating in the ocean or whatever, and be like, well, optically, I don't know if this is okay. I'm like, well, hold on. There is like a moral principle here that might be worth, some kind of, not just sacrificing optics for, but like pushing to create the optics. A thing that I
don't know if I agree with that. I think I think we have to make a decision as a complete people on where we stand as a nation. Are we going to go in an isolationist direction, a more inclusive direction, or in a completely different direction that I can't fathom just yet? That being said, I understand his gripe with us just randomly targeting boats that, for all we know, didn't have drugs. I don't know if more information's come out on that yet. I'd have to look it up personally. That being said, though, to just completely dismiss one side or the other, well, then you're going to make people like Tim Pool correct. We still have a way to pull back from this. I don't think that hard, and it seems pretty obvious. But I'm also potentially just an idiot.
Notice, well, a huge example here is
Okay,
Newsom and
back
the
to this.
redistricting thing. When conservative, this concept of the Overton window, I feel like liberals or Democrats, they look at the Overton window as the maximum capacity threshold for political exploration, and conservatives view it as like a launching pad where
70.
yes, and yeah, oh my god, because like people don't, I don't know how you're on the far left progressive, I don't care, I'm just gonna stop hedging, okay? If I say things are politically tricky or whatever. The Bernie bros get this so wrong, where the Bernie bros look at like Bernie versus Hillary and everything else, like, I can't believe the Democrats fucked him over, I can't believe the Democratic Party did this is so evil, the superdelegates and blah, blah, blah. And nobody remembers, or it seems like they don't, Trump got nothing. Trump had no help when he was running in that early primary. Everybody hated him. The establishment hated him. The media hated him. The lawmakers hated him. All the other debaters hated him. The Fox News hosts hated him. Megyn Kelly, all the comments.
Okay, but how
everybody hated this
fast?
guy. But because,
115.
I would say it's almost entirely due to luck. I give this guy no credit for political instincts. He was just entertaining. Like, he managed to discover like a new thing that the conservatives were, oh, I guess we like this speech. And then everything, especially since then, although I would argue, from the Al Gore having the election taken from him by the Supreme Court, the McConnell's taking a Supreme Court pick from us, the, thing after thing after thing, I would say Republicans have always been kind of exploring. But especially as of recently, Republicans don't stop and ask, like, what can the public what can they handle? It's more just like, how far can we push to see, what we can make them handle? And yeah, I think that liberals and Democrats are way too big.
I think this one's
seeing themselves
important.
as chained down. And I really appreciate when Newsom did that redistricting thing. I almost didn't believe it when I first read that, because I was like, oh my God, somebody's memeing, that would be based. Imagine if California was like, well, Texas did it? Well, fuck it, we're going hard on our redistricting. And he did. And initially, it was kind of like I don't know if this is going to go.
I agree. I don't think that's a good idea for either Texas or California.
States, surprisingly, I'd push this tit for tat idea for a while.
But then again, there's more people. Maybe it's inevitable.
For longer than me. But like other states, started to double. To stop and think. I think it was Indiana that changed their mind on like going through their redistricting. Like finally a Democrat was like, oh, well, we're going to actually respond in kind or do some big step here and see what we could do. And yeah, I think that Democrats need to be more willing to say, this might be a 30-40% issue right now, but morally it's so important. We can make this a 55-60% support issue. Yeah. Oh, and then on the last quick thing on that, you mentioned that birthright citizenship thing. I think it's okay to have discussions about values of the country, but not with somebody who's so fundamentally unaligned morally with your position. Like, if we want to have a conversation about affirmative action or stuff like that, or diversity, equity, inclusion, I think some of this stuff is a little bit cringe. Personally, I do, but I'm never, ever having that conversation with somebody that I know is like a bigoted racist. I'm not giving any ground to that guy, because we're not coming from the same place at all. Even if we seem to have similar policy positions, there's no common ground to be found there. It's all illusory,
Well, yeah, and I got a little aggressive talking about Matthew Iglesias. I really shouldn't. He's a net positive
for sure
for the world.
Okay, wait a minute here.
For the world, so
I gotta back that up.
All the other debaters hated him. The Fox News hosts hated him. Megyn Kelly, all the comments, like everybody hated this guy. But because I would say it's almost entirely due to luck. I give this guy no credit for political instincts. He was just entertaining. Like, he managed to discover like a new thing that the conservatives were, oh, I guess we like this speech. And then everything, especially since then, although I would argue, from the Al Gore having the election taken from him by the Supreme Court, the McConnell's taking a Supreme Court pick from us, the, thing after thing after thing, I would say Republicans have always been kind of exploring. But especially as of recently, Republicans don't stop and ask, like, what can the public what can they handle? It's more just like, how far can we push to see, what we can make them handle? And yeah, I think that liberals and Democrats are
expensive.
seeing themselves as chained down. And that, I really appreciate when Newsom did that redistricting thing. I almost didn't believe it when I first read that, because I was like, oh my God, somebody's memeing. That would be based. Imagine if California was like, well, Texas did it. Well, fuck it. We're going hard on our redistricting. And he did. And initially, it was kind of like I don't know if this is going to go through or not. And it was a really good idea. And other states, surprisingly, I pushed this tit for tat idea for a while now, and people are picking up on it, and I'm sure other people have been talking about it for longer than me. But like other states, started to double, to stop and think. I think it was Indiana that changed their mind on like going through their redistricting. Like finally, a Democrat was like, oh well, we're going to actually respond in kind or do some big step here and see what we could do. And yeah, I think I think that Democrats need to be more willing to say, this might be a 30-40% issue right now, but morally it's so important. We can make this a 55-60% support issue. Yeah. Oh, and then on the last quick thing on that, you mentioned that birthright citizenship thing. I think it's okay to have discussions about values of the country, but not with somebody who's so fundamentally unaligned morally with your position. Like, if we want to have a conversation about affirmative action and stuff like that, or diversity, equity, inclusion, I think some of this stuff is a little bit cringe. Personally, I do. But I'm never, ever having that conversation with somebody that I know is like a bigoted racist. I'm not giving...
Okay. I was just trying to make sure I understood that. I mostly agree with that. You can't really have a conversation with someone who's just openly, hey, I think our species is actually based on race, and we have all this extra nonsense. I'm more of a, at the end of the day, we're one people. Perhaps, again, that's foolish, but that's just where I stand on the issue.
Any ground to that guy, because we're not coming from the same place at all. Even if we seem to have similar policy positions, there's no common ground to be found there. It's all illusory,
Well, yeah.
Am I allowed?
I got a little aggressive talking about Matthew Iglesias. I really should. He's a net positive
for sure
for the world. He's a net positive for the world. So Matthew Iglesias, if you're hearing this, I love you. You would like the video I just made about Gavin Newsom, because I think this is one of the reasons why he's like constantly leading the polls whenever people are asked in 2028, like, who do you want to be the Democratic nominee? And it's because Gavin Newsom does stuff.
Yes.
I think the problem that liberals have, and you talked about liberals seeing themselves confined by the Overton window, what's politically possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's worth it.
See themselves, in many cases, that liberalism is of the system. They've come to see themselves as the maintainers, the only true guardians.
I think that's an okay recon.
I think that lends itself to a kind of nervous status quoism.
Speed! Oh, give me a second.
The thing is, whenever you're motivated by values rather than just this kind of more technocratic ideal,
Be right back, I have to go help my son. Alright, I'm back now. Whew. Let's get back into it.
You can do things like redistrict your state in response to Texas because you're not worried about maintaining that kind of consensus that hasn't really existed since at least 2016 and probably before then. You can do things like eliminate the filibuster. You can do things like pass Supreme Court reforms. You can do things, there's so many things you can do whenever you're motivated by the actual liberal,
I just don't feel like that.
actual liberal values like liberty.
Hope onward towards.
Helping people live a fulfilled, self-actualized, autonomous life. And equality, ensuring that people have some sort of social
For some reason,
they're
though.
all treated equally.
Like
Whenever you're motivated by those actual values, there's so much more you can do.
Yeah, I 1,000,000,000% agree. I like the one big thing that's hard for people to notice, and again, coming from the streamer world, especially you see this, or from economics. Are you familiar with the concept of like opportunity cost?
Sure.
So I think that some people don't see sometimes the opportunity cost of like controlling narratives.
Just the
So,
cost is so
I read a
high.
post on this once, and oh my god, it unlocked my brain so much for this. Imagine you go onto the Destiny subreddit, and the top post is a guy who posts a picture of his golden retriever. And the post is something like, look at how cute and adorable my dog is. Come comment on my dog. And let's say you click into that thread, and you want to type, I think the dog's really cute. And imagine that like the top post, or the first post that you see there, is golden retrievers or whatever are the most vicious, disgusting dogs in the world. They run around eating, old ladies and killing children.
With the
And
extreme.
you're like, okay, well, hold on. First, I'm not even going to get mad at this post. I'm going to go do some research. I'm going to respond to this post. I'm going to completely shut it down. I'm going to destroy the misinformation. I'm going to be well read on the topic. And you do it in the best world where you're not emotionally dysregulated, where you shut that post down with all the best, sources and facts in the world. Like, take a step back and understand like what just happened. You saw a thread, it made you feel good, and you wanted to go in and say that the guy's dog looked good, and now you just spent all this time fighting on some fucking bullshit, and that goodness that you could have contributed to the world is gone. When people see the conservatives, they've gotten so fucking good at this. I hate how good at this. They have control, and when you say this, the opinion I'm giving is like controversial with everybody because nobody wants to believe this. The right, obviously, they don't because they can't, and the left is so mindfucked being even having the appearance of having TDS that they'll never say anything like this. The conservatives have controlled both halves of the media for at least the last decade, if not longer. Republicans are talking about what they want to talk
but you
about,
all have one.
and Democrats
Okay.
are having to respond to what the Republicans are talking about. So even if we feel like we're winning because we've shut down the 450 millionth comment about trans, 4-year-old dogs taking over schools or whatever, we're like, oh, we own that guy. Well, hold on. We didn't get to talk about any
Faster
Trump
shot,
failures.
though.
We didn't get to talk about, the sending to people to CCOT. We didn't get to talk about, a million different important issues
so
because we were
expensive.
so busy responding to their part of the narrative. And even if we own that part of the narrative, even if we, kill them on it, we didn't get to talk about any of the stuff that we stand for. Like every single thing in the media is either
So
what the conservatives stand for
expensive.
or a response to what the conservatives stand for. And it's such a bad approach to politics, which is like you said, even as stupid as it was, and I have to make people understand this, and it sounds bad and it sounds evil, right?
900
Because
millimeter
it is part of
explosive
our strategy, even though I mean, it is to some extent acceptable, believe it or not. When Trump is mean to people, when Trump dehumanizes people, when Trump is an asshole, there is a power to that because it dictates what people are talking about. As stupid as that Gavin Newsom press Twitter account or whatever is, when conservatives are crying about that on Fox News, and for a while a lot of them were,
Top armor.
even if it seems like, well, it kind of just looks immature on our part, doesn't it? No, you don't understand. They're responding to
Oh,
this
that
now.
cost.
They're not talking about the 12th trans swimmer. They're not talking about an illegal immigrant that got a speeding ticket or a fucking parking fine. They're not talking about Trump's new plan for Greenland. Now they're responding to us. And Democrats just don't have the ability sometimes to capture the media like that because they're so fucking afraid of doing it.
No, I agree. Yeah, no, this is a lot of what I talk about in the Gavin Newsom.
Oh, but I need
Yeah,
it.
I mean, he represents.
It hurts that I need it.
At the last decade, personified. I think that's what Gavin Newsom is.
I think I'm going to pause this for now because I kind of want to lock in on the deck building. Okay. Last day of being sick, I think. Sorry if I'm being nasty.
No, you're fine. 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 You're fine.
Okay, this is what I really need to start understanding. And you just come as you are. Love you, hate you. That's a little overpowered. Blam, huh? Same thing. Ugh. But it's powerful. Marine Raiders. Nothing can be done about that. They're just needed. Because I do need riflemen. I need everything. Ooh, it's nasty rough. When you want so much more. You know what? Ugh. It is rough, chat. I need more. What does my mech rifle do here? I like the suppression. I really do. Really do. Gotta catch them all. I like having them for emergencies. I'll have to get rid of this. I like them. I want them. But the price point. What's a man to do? And you're just out the box, huh? I know I'm pushing it. Oh. It hurts. But I like the idea of the M24s. I like them too much. Ten to 600. 400. Mech rifle's the way to go here. Oh, it's true. God help me. Marine Raiders. You are strong. Finally got it out. Jesus. The rains look good. And they come with a browning. Okay, yeah, nothing changes there. It is hard. I'm very, how does one say, uneasy. The smoke is absolutely makes a difference. I kind of like this thing. It's very close range, and I feel like a lot of people just push in. Because it is just the wiser thing to do than just sit there and get knowingly artilleried. At least by a close range one that's going to absolutely obliterate you. Well, we'll see if I can fit it in, though. I'm not expecting to. $1,400. $1,400. A little expensive. But for now I can entertain it. How many, I didn't think so. found it before. I can't remember where I found it though. Yeah. Very close. Okay, there we go. So my Browning shoots as fast as my 165. .520. All around better. Undeniably need it. Okay, so I need it. Truth of the matter, though, is usually what's killing my tanks is the helicopters. Okay. But I save money. So more different shell types. More armor. Not bad. Think we can stop there with that. This is an absolute need. Now I see the problem. I do love the linebacker. Same thing here. Oh, just slow. Could make it faster. 1,000, 1,000. Tis an anti-aircraft gun. 200 meters further. Making shooting them down kind of, you know. I think I'd want more of these because they're still cheaper. I know. Lav, how dare I? Ooh. We'll see. Oh, how there is such a love-hate. $400 to 43. It kinda makes a difference. I stress kind of. 3 of them either way. I'm a little cheapy. Okay, what are we talking about? Super close. Super close. I could add something in case I get jumped on. Changes nothing. The smoke is nice. Same self-defense weapons. Guided rounds are kind of nice. When you've got laser, it's just extra great. 45, 24. 10 extra bucks. 2 of them I think is perfect. What are we talking about here? 6 to 4K. Okay, it's just a different missile type? Missiles and helicopters. Well, this one seems better. A bit cheap, no doubt. $116. 2 cluster rounds. Interesting. Highly explosive. Hard to say no to that. Let's look at the PVADs here. Maybe, kinda, it could. But I'm not sure. For now, we'll save. Come back to it. Helicopters, huh? Can carry nuts. Can carry nuts. .9.75. It looks cool. They sound cool. They just aren't cool. could have pylons. Mm. Nine and 2,500. 16, 30. A bit quicker. Nothing else though special about it. Osprey. I don't use these. Should probably get good. Though when I save up points and need to get stuff to the front line, I shouldn't rely on such things. Right out of the box, these are pretty good. It doesn't work for me. All in all, pretty good. Also not very good at using my planes yet. Fire bombs could be good. Very expensive plane. Yeah, we'll do it. Well, looks like I've overspent. Where to make the cut. Don't really need all that aid in that tank. With 50 points to spare. Oh gosh, me. There we go. Perfect. And that is one division done. Okay. What can we do?
It's done.
Do a little Marine Airborne here, see what we can't get going. Cheaper, like it, like it. It's always hard to say no to Force Recon. Drones, you say? And a laser Humvee. $5 extra for a smoke pod. That's definitely not going to make a difference. Effective range. Right at the edge of most bazookas. Might be better as that, yep, because it does give me still the 800 range. Don't want to go too heavy on it though. Looks like I will have enough for some Force Recon. Son, please stop crying. Modernization, huh? Looks like I could try one of these. Pretty cool. But I'd rather have one of those. Well, I'll save that. Infantry. Woe is me. Sorry about that. Pretty close. Yeah, but I really do need transport. 8. Well, yeah, that is a big difference. Gotta have that. That's my front. Oh, but you guys come with javelins. Oh. Don't need two of them, then, do I? That's probably the trade-off, huh? Not really, no. Alright, stingers would be nice. 115, 120. 115's more than good enough. God. I need more infantry points. I should really make sure here. Ooh. Eight. 4. 2 to 1800, you're saying? However, well, no, really, it's a point difference. God, that's rough. At 100 meter distance. Quite important. You move quite fast. Hard to say no to that. 16, 16. Hard to say no. Sadly, I need to hit them in the top. If I'm correct, 1400 or 100 mage. Does it change? No. But it is different. Oh, I do not like this. We'll leave that there for now. Support. I have seen, intriguingly, some Brutuses. They seem to do well. Slam. Interesting. Very much so, in fact. Misa looking for something. That's what I was looking for. Outside targets. That kind of changes everything. This could be useful. It almost just makes That's the stuff. However, that does a lot of damage. Yep, that's the difference. A buttload of damage. I don't feel like I can say no to the slime realm. I do not have a good artillery unit. Do. Slightly. 4350. Yep, this is still gonna be better. If they get me, they're gonna get me. Yeah. Decisions. Don't need that. Always nice to have a little bit of close range. Cat fees were powered. Do. I see what. Make it a little cheaper here for me. I'm almost broken my way. Chinook being one of those other things. Good to have. Good to have. Slow. Yep. Oh, this is a bit faster though. A longbow. That should give me a little bit of wiggle room. There we go. Air. The Love Eagle. Always good to have. Jesus. Just don't feel like I'd ever use that. I would just never have the points. But I don't really know that. Oh, sorry, I had to sneeze there. It lets me kind of keep them low. Would not mind a real bomber. No real difference there. I find that to be most acceptable. And you need to go down. Oofa. It's just too lame. Need. Alright. Everything's kind of overstocked. Nope. No. Negatory. There we go. I want to at least be as close as I can to 10k. Alrighty. Marine cow. If only you could go faster. I can't lie. How much do you have with you? 6. I don't see why you couldn't. Yeah, you got lace. Can you lace? No. Shadow just kind of sits there. 85's pretty dope. Giving you laser designation, huh? Well, for now, I think we'll leave our wreck like that. Ah, it's you again! Ain't. No. Okay. Take you as you are. I like the idea of engineers, but it feels like I can't really afford them ever. Ugh. Koopas? Okay. 15. Meaning, if I get you boyos, that should be good. For the first time since 1942, I can leave my infantry trap. Confident. Powerful, even. Alright, I have to go blow my nose, if you'll excuse me. Alright. I'm not sure how I feel about this. The battleship, huh? We'll see where we stand after spending our points. Same with you. Right. Difference, I'm guessing, is speed and armor. Less. But I can make it, maybe. 60, 60, 40. You're a substantial difference. Yep, that's what I thought. 14 to 13, I assume. It's R6 to 8. Take a little bit more damage. It's hard to say no to that. Especially since it's got the damage 200 point unit. At the end of the day, I need something heavy, something in the front. For now, acceptable. Units I'm not too sure about. You're playing games with my heart. Holy moly, never mind. Hello, beautiful. Do you come often? Thank you so much. I'm getting better with these, but still, ugh. Ain't. But you can do multi. And also a 1 to 2 seconds. Well, I mean, obviously 1 to 2 seconds, right? Yeah. And the Fletcher, a couple of Hellfires. So an upgraded version, effectively. This is an interesting little thing. You know. So I could click. This just seems better in every way. One oh five. Gotta have those pups. I don't see the need. Shoot it, right? What are we talking about here? $100 for 120, but also no guided. So actually, big difference. the High Mars system. Very powerful. Definitely not. 10 to 12, is that both ways? But I can be guided anyway. What are we doing here? What in the flamingo's going on? There is. I see. A fair point. Okay. As is out the box. That seems pretty strong. Pretty strong indeed, comrade. Viper is in the air. Oh no, not that many. Oh boy. But the minigun's cool. That's just how it is. Never hurts to have a couple prowlers. No, just one. Viper in the air, good sir. Yep. Look at me. No. No. Never mind. For the first time forever. Okay. This is genuinely kind of awesome. Overwhelming would be best. However, I can see such a scenario. I can? Awesome. Nope. It's a negative. Recon's what we've got. Okay. It's another one knocked down. Yeah. Okay. Oh, well, hi. Okay. Recon. Alright, what is this? Good punch through. Ugh. I might hop on Valheim here in a little bit. I just wanted to knock out the Marine section of my deck building. $450mm. It's pretty strong indeed. Higher hide. Force Recon's the way to go here. No, wait just a minute. Yep, Force Recon. We'll go with that. No. Curious. Laser, laser, no laser. Yes, just so nasty. Do it so. Save this. Fudge and infantry. What are you, 8 men? Yeah. Singular more men. But the range, it's just undeniable. No, Bubs, I'm not kidding you. Good if I can get around. Yep. Delta Force, 'tis nice. Yeah. Then there's Marines. Let me think. They're actually expensive as hell. 13. Yeah, but my guys are also not super lethal. They're tanking. I mean, they're lethal, but they're not tanking. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, if anything. Yeah. Whew. Vehicles for these guys is gonna be rough. Gonna be real rough. Forward 1 tank, number 2. Keep that as it is. Supply. Cannot deny. 200-meter difference. It's gonna matter though. Helicopter. Comanche, absolutely. Viper for support. Alright. It's cheap. Gotta have anti-air where I can get it. 9 to 8. Take a couple of stallions, but really if I'm relying on those, I'm doing pretty bad. Get one more Viper. Alright, that's spent. Air. Ghost Rider. Yes. I do like the idea of 2,000-pound bombs dropping on my enemies. No rockets. Need a little anti-air for the beginning of the match. Those are actually pretty poop. Couple of close quarters bombers. I can't afford anything after that. Few hundo points. Another 6. Well, darn. That'll do. Recon, huh? Yeah. Shut my rangers down. Killing me. Drop the Reaper altogether. There we go. It's a start to the Americas. Well, up. Alright, that will be all I do for now. I'm gonna go play ball with a friend. Talk to you guys later.